I know I've been gone for like 4 years, but I felt like doing this again. And this is honestly a game from my childhood, so what better way to come back than to just start with something I actually like?
It's always important to actually play things you enjoy.
Yep. I always appreciate in the old days when games had like 6 or 7 splash screens.
When they had like real splash screens instead of just like, here's an image.
A logo. I think my favorite thing about this is that this single video here is probably like a quarter of the GameCube's entire disk space. Just a single video file.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't very big, were they? They were like...
a gig and a bit, mostly.
I think they were a little bit bigger than that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, who's that guy? Probably not important.
Who knows? It's not like he's had a movie about him or anything.
Oh man, I forgot about that move. What an amazing move.
Oh yeah, it's incredibly good. Meanwhile, this one's not actually so great. But it wouldn't be the Incredible Hulk if it wasn't. Because this is the Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction. The game released in 2005 as a sequel to 2003's Hulk game. This one moves away from that game's focus on stealth and small action set pieces, and instead goes for a more free-roaming, open environment sort of deal.
There was a Hulk stealth game?
It was a weird thing where essentially it was a split between like sneaking around as Banner and doing fights as Hulk, but the problem was the sneaking around as Banner was not fun. Because it was the sort of basic kind of stealth where you don't actually build the whole game and mechanics around it, like say a Splinter Cell or Metal Gear. It's just sort of there and it's not great.
That's super weird.
Yeah, there was a lot of weird decisions in that game, but they decided in this one that they'd take what worked out of that one and swap it out with stuff that was actually effective.
You're telling me they made a game about the Hulk where you play as the Hulk?
Yep.
There's a thin line between good and bad. I walk that line every single day.
I want to like trample all over it, honestly.
When I stray from it, people die. My name is Bruce Banner, and this is me. I'm not a person anymore. I'm the Hulk. I did this to myself, all in the name of science. This is me, and all that I've become. I'm a big, green time bomb, and I'm ticking.
Taking down to fun. I think my favorite thing about that is that that car in the intro is going to smash directly into the wall.
Welcome to the Hulk Survival Program. In this series of exercises, you will approximate Hulk's basic abilities, the implication being that when facing the Hulk in direct combat, you will have the advantage of knowing his capabilities through your VR experience.
Do you think he had to pay a lot of people for this
Hulk
VR
excels
experience, or
at
was it an
destruction.
in-house thing?
Try running into various obstacles here to get a sense of the creature's power.
Yeah, I want to know
While
who
this is merely a
developed
virtual
the Hulk VR
representation
game.
of the beast, be reminded that Hulk is actually capable of most feats demonstrated here.
Why don't it be some shell company called like
Another
Marvelous or
example of
something?
Hulk's immense strength. He seems capable of picking up virtually any
But this is our
object.
tutorial, which you are forced to
Approach
partake in,
any
and you have
object
no way of really
and
skipping.
press the grab throw control to lift it.
And you can't really die during it, so it's not a great tutorial. As a lot of this game's later parts are going to be about avoiding damage as much as possible.
Yeah, the game does get a bit hard later, doesn't it?
It's more in the sense that it expects you to do a thing, and if you don't do that thing, it's very easy to die. If you figure out what the game wants most of the time, you'll do just fine. Same basic
Pressing
idea
the
as here,
special
where
button will
the basic
activate
A
Hulk's
attacks
more
are going to
advanced
be
techniques,
most of what you use throughout the
unleashing
entire
everything
game,
he's got.
but they don't actually
These will
do
often
that much
launch or
damage.
stun any one hit. As with Hulk's other techniques, holding the button will increase the power of each technique.
By the way, he's lying about the whole stunning people thing if he hits them with you. It's only Hulk-sized opponents that get stunned. I do appreciate that in this VR recreation of the world, the soldiers are just so incredibly
It
brave.
is vitally important you research Hulk's various combat abilities. He's not only powerful, but extremely fast. When in close, do not hesitate against him. Fight to win. Consult your field manual for a complete list of Hulk's known combat techniques.
Which at this point it consists of punch and slightly different punch. I don't think Hulk ever actually uses his feet in any way here in this game. There's no kicks.
There's one kick, kind of, but it's just he launch an attack at something. Oh, launch a thing at something.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's no good, sir.
I appreciate that grabbing these guys gives them like 40 different voice lines.
Maybe that's what's taking up all the space, all of the screaming for help from the soldiers.
There are a whole hell of a lot of audio files in this game. Like, a whole hell of a lot. In fact, there's so many that it actually consists of kind of a problem, because a lot of times stuff won't play when it's supposed to, because it's being overridden by something else.
I can't move.
I like how they let you do this, even though it's like totally worthless and there's no reason to ever do it.
Busting my arms.
Basic grabbed A attacks are basically worthless, though they are really funny on humans.
I think just one of those would probably kill me.
One of those would turn you into literal chunky salsa. And that one would just shrink your entire head into, like, your buttocks.
Okay.
The long way.
To steal a quote from something, it would turn you into some sort of soup-like homogenate.
That's a pretty good explanation.
Trapped here, damn it.
They're so descriptive about their horrible, horrible situations.
Yo, a cow.
Okay, what the hell kind of military base has cows just running around in it? I know this is a VR recreation, but come on, man.
What I want to know is why they have oil wells next to it.
Wait, no, this is a VR recreation. That would mean at some point previous to this, the Hulk was attacking them with cows.
I could see it.
It's coming.
You know, I mean, after all this time, it's no wonder the Hulk has a little beef with these people.
Once the beast has located a perceived threat, he will launch objects with no regard for human life. Tap or hold the designated grab throw button to launch an object at your target.
What do you think the controller for this VR thing looks
Press and
like?
hold the target button to target an
It didn't really look like he had a
All
controller, it
attacks
kind of
will
just
be
looked like it was
launched
just the
towards
headset.
that target.
Oh god, he has to have his hands up by his head and is just tapping buttons on the side of it.
No, he's probably using the same kind of controller
It should
that
be
they
noted
used on
Hulk
that,
frequently uses heavy
Titan
objects
sub.
as missiles.
They just hand him a
Devastating
PS2 controller.
power and accuracy. For targets
Even in
at
the Marvel
great
universe, the
distances,
PS2 still came
pressing
out.
and holding the grab throw button will hit targets at greater distances.
Now he can throw helicopter corpses at other helicopters. Helicopter corpses are very terrible projectiles.
yeah, don't they kind of fly a little weird?
Incoming.
It's mostly the fact that because of their weird-ass shape, they'll end up missing stuff a lot of the time, and if they hit anything, they instantly crack apart. They have no HP.
I think helicopters do that in real life too, though, so it's accurate.
I appreciate that every time you throw anything at the helicopter, all they get is like a half second of screaming before they blow up.
Once again, I think that's accurate to real life.
Like, I'm pretty sure each of those helicopters in real life would cost something around like $500,000. Like, I think Hulk can actually just beat the military by making them run out of money.
General Thunderbolt Ross is funding this from his private pension.
I have never seen the humans in this game do that before. Normally they run away from you if you do a run. I've never seen one of them just chuck themselves away from an air move now.
Hulk's primary method of movement is his ability to leap long distances. Even his smaller jumps are considered impossible by most standards. Follow the instructions on your display to familiarize yourself with this phenomenon.
What is the standard that doesn't consider it impossible?
I don't know, like... Fuck, I'm trying to think of somebody ridiculously strong that could do jumps like that.
The Thing?
The Thing is strong, but he's not that strong.
Well, it depends on which Thing. I think there was one story where he ended up turning into, like, a Thing version of Godzilla at one point.
Oh, yes, no, during one of the big crossovers where Doctor Doom takes over the world, he turns the Thing into a literal wall, I believe.
Oh, so that's where that Spider-Man comic got the guy from. Crossovers when you didn't even know they were crossovers.
The grab button to approximate
No, this is more
to
recent.
climb sheer surfaces. Try it now.
So this thing is something you will basically never use ever at any point in this game because it leaves you comically open. However, this is something you'll use literally all the time because there's basically zero downside to it. Other than flinging you off in random directions if you get the angle wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say, other than it being kind of hard to control.
Well, there's actually an upgrade later on that basically fixes all the problems with this, but it takes a while to get to it. God, you can tell that this VR recreation of the world doesn't have that much RAM in it. It keeps deleting everything the second the camera moves. And here's a weaponization we'll show off that we won't use for half the game. Despite being comically overpowered.
Right, you don't even start with this unlocked, if I remember correctly.
Oh no, this is for a while.
I like how the missiles fire and home in when he throws them.
That's only when they're charged, actually. If you just throw them immediately, they don't home in. And can be dodged quite easily.
Oh.
Again, there's no reason not to charge them, because hitting anything in this game is quite difficult. Well, if it doesn't home and you're not 3 feet away from it.
Once Hulk has acquired an object, the creature will frequently manipulate it to fashion a makeshift weapon, such as a missile or battering ram. A favorite ploy, often referred to as the steel fist technique, is to turn a vehicle into a pair of metal gauntlets. Press the special button to demonstrate this weaponization.
So normally we would have to buy this, but since we did all the tutorials, we now get it for free. So this works on pretty much anything that is vaguely car-sized, and basically makes you hit comically hard. And when I say comically hard, I mean comically hard.
Well, he is a comic book character.
Ooh. But it also allows us to hit straight through armor. Which is basically its main use, is that you'll be fighting a lot of tanks, and unless you have these, you basically can't damage anybody through them unless you charge up. And the tanks can easily knock you out of what you're doing.
For now, yeah.
Yeah, for now, but it's not that big of an issue once you've figured out roughly how they work.
Damn, you've already collected 4 out of 60 comics. This game must be pretty short.
Well, it might be, but we'll have to leave that for when we really start up on Banner's experiences.